Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, arm drag.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two, arm bar.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Dummy.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, Lamas covered, three-handle family Gradunzel. Mamma mia! And now, Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, GregUnchained.
It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
Number 4, armbar.
I will never retire.
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's time for the King of Sportscast, which means I am joined by the one and only Big Boy Mikey. How are you, Big Boy?
Oh, going well, buddy. Going well. I'm not so robotic this week, so I'm going well.
That's good. Yeah, we've fixed some of the tech issues. I don't want to say we've fixed all of them because, you know, touch wood, you never know. But it appears we've fixed the tech issues, so this one should sound a little better for people. Last week's was a struggle, man. I had to Frankenstein that stuff together. Did you have a listen to it? Could you tell?
I did, and it sounded like someone who would run upstairs and trip over and hit their head on a set of stairs. Yeah, it was a mess.
It was a mess. Like it almost didn't even resemble the actual conversation we had. When I listened back to it, I'm like, I don't know. But, hey, that's what you get sometimes when you're dealing with technology. But, it is what it is.
What it is, Yeah, I struggled listening to it back. I'm like, this is the first one I can't actually get through. I just fast forwarded right to the end to make sure we get a full listen there because, yeah, but...
You're pumping up the stats. That's dodgy. That's dodgy.
Got to be done, but yeah, that presentation was as... messy as a brie belly yes kick. So yeah, that's
oh wow. Let's not go into that.
Too fresh.
Man, you know what? I don't even know if we can put all the blame on Brie Bella.
No, exactly. I know.
So, because Liv was slow selling and she didn't speed up her selling, but Brie should have felt the nose when she connected.
Yeah.
Come on, you should. There's no excuse for kicking that second time. But this is pro wrestling. These things happen. What do they say? It ain't ballet.
That's it. Well, the Bellas are dancers, so anyway. Moving on.
So if it was ballet, she'd probably be better at it. But this is not The View from the WWE Universe. That's on Saturday. Today is Wednesday, which means it's King of Sportscast. So for anyone who wasn't able to catch our Frankenstein conversation, King of Sportscast has expanded. We're not just going to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling anymore. We're going to talk about New Japan. We're going to talk about RevPro when there's things to talk about. We're going to talk about CMLL. We're going to talk about Ring of Honor, which means that now there's a lot more to pack into this discussion. So let's get straight into it. New Japan Pro Wrestling this week. Destruction.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, there was a couple of Road 2 shows, but I'm not going to even worry about them because, there is way too much to talk about.
Yeah, nothing major.
Kobe, and there's too much to talk about this coming Sunday in LA. So let's get straight cracking into the New Japan stuff. So, let's look at Kobe. I do want to break down a couple of little things through the night. Because we know that the main event is going to be a big talker.
I think we start with that. I think we start with that because it's going to be the meatiest discussion.
Let's do this.
Chaos is fine.
Chaos is in chaos. Oh, wow. Just when you think,
that you have all the answers?
Yeah. What was my quote? What was my quote from a couple of months ago? Just when you think
Man, I don't even know. When the Tongans turned, you had a whole thing.
Just when you think they have the answers, just when you think you have the answers, they rewrite the questions.
Yeah, right. Well, it's a Roddy Piper quote, isn't it? Yeah. So, no, but seriously.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, we didn't see this coming. We didn't see this coming. Go back 2 episodes. And what did I say? Yeah. I'm just waiting for Gedo to turn on Okada and side with Jay White. That's what I said. I said it 2 weeks ago. The proof is in the pudding. I am a genius.
You are. You should be the new lead booker for New Japan, mate. No,
I don't know how anyone didn't see this coming. I thought it made the most narrative sense. Like Geto's a snake. He wants to stay ahead of the curve, right?
Yeah. And in a non-kayfabe sense, this is awesome for Jay White because he's just going to always have Gator with him on the road and stuff. So Gator's always going to be with Jay White. So Jay White's going to build having Gator on his side. And for character-wise and kayfabe-wise, it is so good for storyline purposes. And, I should have seen it coming. I know the Gator history. Chaos is founded on Gato's turning. He turned Rise, the predecessor to Chaos. He turned on half of the Rise stable to start Chaos. So I don't think it's going to stay as Chaos. I think there'll be something new. And I think Chaos will dissolve. It'll be interesting to see where things go from here. But I think Jay White and Gato start maybe a new stable name just to break it off, just to give Jay White that fresh. Or
Geto said new era coming soon. So maybe they're going to be called the new era
in Japanese. Let's have a look at what that said. Well, that sounds, but something like that. But it's going to be very interesting times. You got Bullet Club who's imploded, and now you got Chaos who's completely imploded. Let's see where everyone sides. As of, and we should probably touch on that as we've already touched on the after effect. The Tanahashi.
Yeah, well, in terms of where everyone's going to land. It's definitely something we should talk about. Well, let's talk about the angle itself first. So basically, this came at the end of Tanahashi versus Okada, which was a really good match, as you expect. It's Tanahashi and Okada, but this match didn't quite have the magic of some of the previous matches. I think that I'm not sure how we're going to go forward with Tanahashi. Just the amount of selling he's doing on those legs. See him make it to Wrestle Kingdom with the pain it looks like he's in, within kayfabe, of course. To see him make it to Wrestle Kingdom will be nothing short of a miracle. I mean, I'm surprised he walked out of the arena.
I'm surprised every time he does walk out. I just don't get it sometimes. But
do you think? So just side question: do you think Tanahashi oversells?
A little bit, Yeah,
I think most of the time it's fine. Most of the time it's perfect. But I thought in this match it was a bit much.
And like you said, this wasn't their.
I get that sometimes,
but just want to quickly say that Okada Tanahashi is probably, in my opinion, the second, probably tied second or tied first greatest rivalry in Japan. Period. I'm probably going to put Misawa and Kawada from All Japan in the in the 90s with that. These guys are just classics after classics after classic. I'm not going to use the name. I know we're not going to go there, but they just put on match of the year candidates every time. This one was not as good as probably the last two, I think, in my opinion, or last three, but still, again, one of the best matches.
Yeah. But look, even their worst match is better than most people's best match. It's one of those things where you can sometimes get to a point where it's like, okay, another Okada Tanahashi, but they always pull it out. It's always good. And then what makes me really happy about New Japan Pro Wrestling, the way they book things, the match ended clean. We got a resolution to the story of Tanahashi being unable to beat Okada, and a resolution to the story of, when they went 30 minutes at the G1, it looked like all they needed was a couple more minutes, right? Because he was about to hit that second high fly flow. was that going to get the job done? All that sort of stuff. And you could say that maybe with another 10 minutes, the match would have been over definitively one way or the other. And now we know, because this one went for about that time, didn't it? What, 36 minutes or so?
Yep. 35 minutes and 48 seconds exactly.
Oh man, I eyeballed that. I didn't even have that written down. I just guessed. I'm like, oh, it was probably about 36. So another 6 minutes, and we got a clear winner. Exactly. And the clear winner was Tanahashi. He managed to get it done this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's a great culmination of a storyline that this could be. So we've seen Tanahashi versus Okada, I think probably all up maybe 20 times in 4 years, 5 years. I think it's 13 or 14. I'm not exaggerating too much there, but yeah. And
we've seen it about the same amount of times we've seen Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler in the last month.
Exactly. However, take some pride, mate. If you haven't watched it, go watch it, because no, I'm not saying this is going to be their last one-on-one. You got things like G1s and all that sort of stuff. But if Okada comes to the face side of New Japan, does, now that obviously, so another important part of this match wasn't just Tanahashi overcoming Okada. It wasn't just Tanahashi being crazy and putting that briefcase up against Okada for... He didn't need to. He didn't lose to Okada, but he wanted to prove. But it was also part of the Yoshihashi story as well, and pulling Yoshihashi away from Okada. However, in doing this, and in doing what Jay White has done, it's brought Okada out of there too. So does Okada and Yoshihashi at the moment, is there a chance that they align with Tanahashi? And
right, so Tanahashi wins, and then out comes Jay White and starts beating down. He beats down first. He attacks Tanahashi, and then he attacks Okada, and that's when Rocky's like, "What are you doing? Stop!" So he goes out to ringside. He pushes. He tells Rocky to side with him, kind of thing. And Rocky's like, "What the hell are you doing?" He pushes Rocky over into the barricades. He grabs the steel chair that Rocky was sitting on. He goes in and he goes to town on Okada. And out comes Yoshihashi to stop things. And we get Yoshihashi World Slide. Which, we shouldn't laugh about it because he actually got legitimately hurt. It was okay to laugh about Titus because Titus didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
But
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Yoshihashi got hurt.
I know. And I know Botchamania is going to have a field day with it. And, for a split second there, it was kind of funny. You're like, oh, shit. Out of anybody in the entire New Japan roster, who's it going to be? Yoshihashi is the Titus O'Neil of the New Japan roster. But...
Yeah, I think... so what else I listened to? The Super J-Cast, a really good New Japan Pro Wrestling podcast, Super J-Cast. They said it was the most Yoshihashi thing Yoshihashi has ever done.
Yeah,
I thought that was great.
Yeah,
it really was.
No joke. Yeah,
Yoshihashi'd it.
Yeah, he Yoshihashi'd it. But look, in the seriousness, the poor guy actually knocked himself out, and I don't think he even knew what happened in the ring. So
he was bleeding. Jay White, though, ever the professional, he took advantage of the fact. He's like, look, he's bleeding. That wasn't meant to happen, but whatever. I'm going to wipe his blood on my face.
Yeah.
So gotta love Jay White. But so Jay White turns, and then Gedo comes out after Yoshihashi fails. Gedo comes out, and you think he's there to stop Jay White, but he picks up the chair, and he hits Okada with possibly the weakest-looking chair shot in history. Yeah. But, it's more about what the chair shot represents, as opposed to the chair shot itself. So,
right, the difference between the physical and the mental strength of that chair shot is...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's the same as when the Shield broke up, right? Seth did hit properly with the chair, but, if he'd done it lightly, I don't think it would have ruined the moment, because the heartbreak wasn't from the chair shot. The heartbreak was from the chair shot.
Then again, I never liked that one. I liked it from a story perspective, but Roman had protection on, and he hit him with a chair around the back.
Right, let's...
Anyway...
So Gedo hits Okada doesn't have protection on, but Gedo just hits very weakly with the chair for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's like that whole, he's still Okada to me, even though we're doing this because it's the best move for business, but he's still Okada. He's still my brother, so I'm only going to tap him lightly. I don't know what it was.
Right, because you got to think in non-kayfabe terms, like in Japan and in Mexico, it is like almost criminal to be seen in public with you. Here, like Tanahashi and Okada can't hang out, and if someone sees them in a hotel going in an elevator together, someone takes a photo, they like actually take that seriously. They're like, no, do not film anything. Like it's criminal to see that. So Gato and Okada have been hanging out legitimately for nearly 4 or 5 years, nearly every tour, and now they're going to have to be split on the road in a weird way. Like,
Gato, right. So they were like attached at the hip.
Yeah. So
and now they're not.
Yeah. So in a weird way, Gato would have been thinking in the back of his head, like, oh, like I'm going to have to make this a little bit softer because I'm like he's like probably losing his best friend in real life for a couple. Like, to be fair, so it's like it would be. But the storyline though here is obviously Chaos is imploded. He gets on the mic and I think this is a brilliant move too because Jay White is brilliantly over as a heel with the Western audience, and he's over as a heel with the Japanese audience. But I think it's smart to give Gedo that role of speaking for him. Yeah, right. So he gets on the mic and essentially. In Japanese, so we're translating here based on what people have said online. I haven't seen an official translation yet, but he basically says, are you two done fighting yet? Because you're both losers. Jay White beat you both in the G1. He should be the one going to Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah. Breathe with the Switchblade, new era coming soon. Yeah. Which he said that one in English, so we all understood that part. But essentially, it looks like they've broken up Chaos or they're breaking it. So I think they are. I think they're splitting off into their own thing and it'll probably have its own name. I looked up, by the way, New Era in Japanese. It's Shinjidai, which I like that. That has a good ring to it. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Shinjidai.
All right. Well,
yeah, so they're breaking off into their own thing, we assume, but maybe they're just going to try to wrestle for control of Chaos, which leads to the question, as you said, where does Okada end up? Could Okada end up with Tanahashi and Yoshihashi? Yeah. Could Okada end up in LIJ? All right, because he's kind of got that whole punky Lost Soul vibe going on since he lost the title. Right. Is there a chance at all he could end up in LIJ? Aesthetically, I think it could work. I don't know if it could work story-wise, but aesthetically, I definitely think it could. If Naito comes... They could make it work story-wise. Imagine if Naito was to go to Okada and just be like, you know what the answer is, buddy? Tranquilo. You care too much. Yeah. Just don't care. Yeah. I don't know. He could end up anywhere.
But
he won't end up in Bullet Club.
No. But look, I would love to go down just a quick little list of the current members. Let's see where we think they're actually going to line up because you got Chucky and Beretta who are doing their own sort of things anyway. They're part of sort of what I like to call Chaos Ring of Honor in a weird way. You got Gato, who's, now aligned with Jay White. Goto is a Okada boy. Like, Okada is... Jado has already... I think I've already seen a tweet from Jado saying, like, what the hell's going on? But Jado is Gato's running mate. So...
I think Jado ends up with Gedo, for sure.
Rocky's obviously going to...
But I don't think that he's relevant either. No. I think Roppongi 3K, they're the most curious case as to where they'll end up.
Well, yeah, because Jay White spent a little bit of time on the G1 in the C block, in the pre-show tags, sort of trying to get Sho and Yo to be a bit more like him. So,
yeah.
Maybe that Ishii and Yano and... they're two originals. Ishii is not really a heel anymore. Yano is. Yano, I don't think Jay White would keep Yano around for some reason. I don't know. Will Ospreay is an Okada boy.
Right, but I think Will Ospreay stays with Jay White. Get that real dick heel that Will Ospreay can do so well.
Yeah. And then, that's, that's it. That's the current group. So, really... At worst, it's going to be Gato, Jay White, Roppongi 3K, and maybe Will Ospreay. I don't know.
It's going to be an interesting few months to see how things shake out because this is one of those things that doesn't happen too often in New Japan. No. It's a big angle, a big shake-up. I mean, the Stable Wars thing, a lot of people say the Stable Wars thing happens too much, but I like it a lot. I think it's fantastic.
Well, they build history in the stable. Like, Chaos is officially 8 years old. And they've been around for 8 years. Either Shinsuke's leadership, Okada's leadership, or now Jay White's technical leadership, I guess. That's the official thing. But, like, it doesn't happen too often. Like, yes, they do a lot of stable versus stable stuff, and to be fair, that's the best side of wrestling, in my opinion. I love that. But yeah, they don't change up things with stables too often in Japan. Like, they'll keep it fresh every 2 or 3 years per stable. They'll change a couple of things, change leaderships, they'll split apart or something like that. But yeah, it's not that constant. But I like this storyline, and there's one name that we haven't mentioned that I have a feeling that could play a part in it.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho.
How so?
Chris Jericho and Jay White are their characters are in a weird way in New Japan, very similar. Very, like, psychotic.
Okay.
Very psychotic, very, what's the right word? It's a very dark, Jericho's got that horror movie thing sort of going for himself. Jay White's a switchblade. I don't know, like, could someone like a Jay White get some stuff out of Chris Jericho? Like, could Jay White become a bigger star by having someone like a Chris Jericho at his side?
I don't know. That's interesting. I'd never even thought of Jericho. Jericho has been absent for so long that he doesn't even factor into my thinking with New Japan, really. When he shows up, it's like, oh, this is nice. This is a nice little cherry on top of what I already enjoy. But I don't really factor, when I'm thinking of potential storylines or potential futures, I don't really factor him in. But I guess, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a huge angle, and it's something that we want to keep our eyes on moving forward, definitely. Now, do you think, last thing about this, because we've been talking about this for quite a while, last thing about this, do you think this moves into a Wrestle Kingdom match between, I think this sets up the Wrestle Kingdom semi-main, basically. I think that Okada and Jay White will fight at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, because I don't want them to touch Tanahashi. Tanahashi versus Jay White at Kings of Pro Wrestling is going to happen. It hasn't been officially announced, but I reckon it will 100% be announced. But I think Okada will cost Jay White. And yeah, I think we'll get Okada Jay White at Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe Team Jay White versus Team Okada or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, something definitely happened between Jay White and Okada for Wrestle Kingdom, and I firmly believe that Tanahashi versus Omega is happening because their Twitter war is just, their beef is amazing. So
yeah, they're already going back and forth. So we talked about Tanahashi's comments last week that he made about Omega's storytelling. Let's talk about Omega this week. Omega this week had an interview with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he called Tanahashi a fucking embarrassment. Like, that's a direct quote.
Yeah.
Like, that's heavy. Like, basically he's saying that that Tanahashi has no idea what he's talking about, what he's doing, that Tanahashi's matches are boring, that if you show Tanahashi matches to your friends, they will fall asleep. And it's really meta. Like, because generally speaking in wrestling, you feud because, we want to be the best. You feud because you have the title and I want it. You feud because you were my tag team partner and you sucked and dragged me down. You feud because you kidnapped my daughter and married her. Like, these are the things you feud about in pro wrestling. You don't feud about who tells better stories in the fake world that you both occupy.
Right. And
do you get what I mean?
And the thing that bothered,
like, they're feuding about who is better at a fake thing.
The thing that confuses me about this is, like, New Japan can do face versus face, but Mega just turned Mega face in the last couple of months, and New Japan is never New Japan crowns. No, it doesn't matter who you put. You could bring you could bring like anyone. Tanahashi is getting cheered in New Japan. Like he's the biggest face in New Japan, and no one will ever boo him. So, are we going back to Kenny being heel again? It's very heelish from Kenny.
I think he's playing the heel in this feud. He's playing the heel for sure. Because I mean, if you want to go out there and say Tanahashi sucks and his matches are boring, and Japanese wrestling will never get bigger with Tanahashi at the helm, I mean, that's your heel saying that for sure.
Look, I like it because it's got me already going like, well, boo Kenny Omega. No offense, like I love Kenny Omega. He is the wrestler of the year, and he deserves something like that. But don't talk shit about Tanahashi. Don't talk shit about Tanahashi.
Yeah, in this little story, you're a Tanahashi guy, whereas I'm an Omega guy. Like I'm like, yeah, shake it up, respect tradition, but change the world. Like let's fucking do it. Like I'm 100% on board with Kenny Omega here. Like I don't agree with him. Tanahashi is not boring. They, like I said last week, they tell very different kinds of stories, and it's just such a meta story that they're telling together, where they're like, look, we tell different stories. What if when we have to tell our big story at Wrestle Kingdom, the story we tell is about how we tell different stories? Like that's just mind blowing level meta to me. I love it.
It's going to be fantastic. The other thing about Tanahashi's side of the thing is, and it'd be interesting to know. We'll never know because they keep kayfabe very good, very well hidden in Japan. Is there maybe a little bit of real beef in Tanahashi's heart towards Kenny? Because Tanahashi, Shinsuke, and Okada and Naito were the guys, and a couple of others, were the ones that put New Japan on the map. It was, and like Finn and AJ, I guess, and all that. Kenny's really, and Kenny's taken them to that next level. Does Tanahashi hold some resentment towards people like Kenny and the Bucks, Kenny and the Bucks and Cody and that have sort of gone like, well, hey, we were the ones that put on the original Meltzer Mark matches. Like, we're the ones that brought New Japan back to the promised land. Like, we're the ones that, but you're taking all the credit. You're getting the pop vinyls. You're getting the, you're getting the Hot Topic merch. Where's Tanahashi's piece of this? Where's, so I'd imagine to be a little.
Yeah, well, Tanahashi, buddy, look, if you have beef about that for real, you need to be a better businessman, right? Because Kenny Omega, he's not a businessman. He's a business man. Like, there's a difference, right? You need to come from that whole Jay-Z line, I think.
Wow.
But I don't know. It's possible that Tanahashi has. I think that there's got to be some level of like, this is really what they feel, but they're turning it up. The best things are always when it gets turned up to 11. As we always say, the best gimmicks in wrestling are when you just turn yourself up to 11. The best stories are in wrestling, like when you're telling something emotional, is when it's something you really feel, but you turn it up a bit.
Well, look, it's going to be a fantastic couple of months. Kings Pro Wrestling will set up some of the major single storylines, and then we'll start moving into some of the tag and junior stuff over the last couple of months of the year. So very exciting times, but we've already spent a fair bit of time on these two major stories, which is fantastic. But look, let's just break.
Yeah, let's just run through the results really quickly. We don't need to necessarily talk about everything that happened in the matches, but Yoda versus Yuya went to another draw. This is brilliant, and I love it, and we've talked about it extensively. Go back and listen to previous podcasts. Yoda and Yuya, their 10-minute time limit draws
this
are
is the 14th one. Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. Roppongi 3K defeated Shota Umino and Ren Narita, so you got two former Young Lions, like relatively recently former Young Lions, taking on two current Young Lions who both have very bright futures.
Umino and Narita are only 20 and 21, so like they're really good for their age already, and good back and forth match. Basically a Lions match, all good. I love this next match. We had Liga and Tiger Mask take on Death Inc., El Desperado, and Kanemaru. I keep calling him
and you called it for Despy and Kanemaru, but I called it for the Legends, and I was right.
You did, and it was good, and yeah.
This is going to set up a title match at Kings of Pro Wrestling for sure.
Yeah, and I hope they win it. I'd love to see Liga.
I don't think they will. I think that Suzuki-gun retain, but it's just it's a good little defense for them.
Yeah, I just love Liga's little cheeky little shot at them, like he mocks them for losing to 2 over the hill champions. So great smart ass.
Yeah.
Then we had
so that was good. Then we got the battle of the New Japan Pro Wrestling dads.
Yeah, it's a dad match. And dad match featuring Yoshida.
Yeah, he stood out so bad. Like, what's Yoshida doing in there with all these dads? He's a dad in training, I guess. Yeah. They want to. Maybe they see him in that role in the future. That's why they're putting him with all these guys.
Like if New Japan have a proper Hall of Fame system, there was 7 of them in that match. So
yeah. So Hiroyoshi Tenzan, Satoshi Kojima, Yuji Nagata and Manabu Nakanishi, defeated Togi Makabe, Tomoaki Honma, Raisuke Taguchi, and Ayato Yoshida. Pick the odd one out.
Yeah. And guess who took the?
But it is what it is. Yeah, gee, I wonder.
It was a fun match.
So you could almost call him Ayato Bushida.
Yeah.
Huh? See what I did there?
Yeah, I like that.
Then we get the Best Friends, and they actually picked up the win over Killer Elite Squad. We thought that Killer Elite Squad would clean house again, but it's a bit annoying that sometimes they always go back and forth with these. But it is what it is. The Best Friends pick up the win. I like the Best Friends, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, they like Best Friends. I think in America, off the top of my head, they're pretty heelish in America, right? Are they heel in Ring of Honor at the moment?
No, they're baby faces.
Okay,
They're so wholesome.
Yeah, I like it. Then we had we had Jay White, Yoshihashi, and Will Ospreay versus Juice, Finlay, and Hanare. Yeah, good fun match.
Little bits of story there with the whole Yoshihashi thing that come into play later in the night. But yeah, Jay White, Yoshihashi, and Ospreay.
Hanare is getting better and better.
Yeah, I love Hanare. I really want to see him join the OGs.
Yeah, so do I. Actually, that's something I want to touch on for 2 seconds after we run through this.
Yeah, for sure.
And then so after that, fun match. We had LIJ versus Suzuki-gun. It was fun.
Right, and LIJ pick up the victory.
Yeah, I don't know. Like this one, I kind of has something off about it for me. Like me, I'm a NATO boy, and I love LIJ, and I love Suzuki-gun, but I don't know, something off about me. I think it's just we've had so much LIJ Suzuki-gun recently. I don't know why. It's just
you know what it is. LIJ have no direction at the moment.
Yeah,
this is nothing going on for any of them, and I don't know what's up with that. I don't know who they pissed off. And we'll get to that in the next match too, because Kushida picked up the win over Bushi, and we thought Bushi was going to go to the finals of this thing.
Yeah, I'm not happy with it. I understand that Kushida is still the junior ace. He's
Kushida.
Yeah, he's Kushida. He's one of the best, and we'll talk about it when I touch on some of the RevPro news in a minute. But it is what it is. I really thought Bushi was going to get a bit of Hiromu's magic, but anyway, it was a good match though. It was a good, solid, I think, 15-minute match. Hang on, what's the official time? 16 minutes 55. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, solid 15-minute match, and I really liked it. And there's a little bit of a tease of Bushi winning with the misting, but it was great stuff. And then obviously Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Okada to retain his G1 title shot and all that. So look, it was great.
Yes, that's Destruction in Kobe. It was a good show. Honestly, for me, I think that the Destruction shows would have been better as one show.
Yeah.
Or two. You could probably do it two. You could probably do two with the you have the junior match. If you had on one night, you had the junior match, you had Tanahashi, Okada, and you had Suzuki and Naito.
Yeah.
And then on the other night, you had the other major matches, the title matches. Ishii. So you have a Destruction Night of Grudges and a Destruction Night of Titles. You have Taichi winning and you have Omega retaining. And I think that would have been better as opposed to the 3 nights. It just felt a little bit much. Like you could have definitely condensed it, made the Killer Elite Squad only face off with Best Friends once. Stuff like that. Little changes, exactly. I think. I don't know why it had to be 3 days.
Yeah. I don't know. New Japan do these 2-3 day sort of tour shows that they do the New Beginning in three sets at the start of the year, and it's all good.
Yeah, but New Beginning is resetting things. New Beginning is resetting things after Kingdom, though.
Yeah.
And so it kind of makes sense, like you're sort of reshuffling pieces and whatnot. This one didn't feel like that. This one just felt like, okay, let's get to the bits that matter. And then they paid it off well in the end. Like, you were rewarded for your patience with that huge angle.
Right.
But it felt like a bit of a slog watching the three. Like, I didn't watch the Road 2s. You watched all the Road 2s. So it's even more different for you. But you're extremely more hardcore about this than I am.
Yeah.
But I'm even hardcore to a point where most people think there's something wrong with me. And for me, it was just a bit of a drag getting through the 3 nights.
Yeah, exactly. But at least now, as that's the next thing that we're going to touch on, is the upcoming stuff in New Japan. So let's just touch on...
Yeah, looking forward to the show that New Japan forgot they had coming up.
And look, to be fair, the next 3 months are really fun. Like, so, yeah, we've had this run of Destruction shows and the Destruction tour. Kind of feel a bit burnt out, not as much as the G1 kind of thing, but a lot of it's going to be fun stuff now. So obviously you got the Kings of Pro Wrestling card coming up. You'll have the Junior Tag Tournament. You'll have the World Tag League. So things will be a little bit different over the next couple of months. But let's just touch on, the pay-per-view that the card that New Japan forgot about, because, I feel this has kind of been completely missed by New Japan for some weird reason. But look, let's run down the card and give our little projection.
Well, they released the card today, but I say it seems like they forgot about it because there's been nothing. Like, you could have at least had, Cody, pumping things up on Twitter or there's been literally nothing. It's almost like they completely forgot about the show. And with how many times they run the same area too, they're always doing their shows in California. Like, this Madison Square Garden one is the first one on the East Coast in a while, right? So I just think that they could probably put a little more effort in. And then when you look at the card did get announced today. When you look at the card, it looks, I don't know, it just doesn't look like a New Japan show.
It's more of a Ring of Honor West Coast.
As much as you want it to.
Yeah, I kind of get a bit more of a Ring of Honor West Coast type show. But let's quickly run down the card and give our thoughts. So
absolutely.
Yeah, so this is on Sunday, September 30th at 5 p.m. That's local LA time, so I don't know what that turns into for us. I think that's Monday morning.
That'll be like Monday morning. Monday morning around 5 a.m.
Something like that.
Around 6 a.m. I think.
Like that, but
roughly.
But yeah, look, should be a fun card. So let's run through it. We're opening up with a 6-man match between Taguchi Japan, I guess, kind of. So it's ACH. He's returned to a New Japan card. Taguchi and Thunder Liga. Taking on all 3 members of Roppongi 3K in Shoyo and Rocky. I'm going to take it.
So Rocky and Roppongi 3K pick up the win here, surely. To build like momentum in the Chaos storyline, plus leading towards Tag League. I don't know. I think it makes sense for them to pick up the
win. Unless Liga picks up the win after his little tag win the other night. But anyway, I'll stick to Roppongi 3K. Then we got a tag match between SCU, who are in SCU for this.
Well, the Addiction. They're only the SCU is when it's the 3 of them. It's the Addiction when it's the 2 of them. So Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, and they're taking on Bullet Club, Hangman Page, and Chase Owens.
That's a joy.
This is what I mean when I say it doesn't feel like New Japan. It feels like that's a Ring of Honor match. That right there is a Ring of Honor match.
But speaking, I'm going to go with Page and Owens on this one.
Me too. Yes, yeah. Well, they're the New Japan guys. So
then we have a 6-man tag between Chucky T and Beretta, the best friends, and Goto. So a little bit more chaos. Might find out a bit more about chaos in that match. Going up against the recent PWG bowler winner in Jeff Cobb, Chris Sabin, and everyone's favorite Flip Gordon. So yeah, it should be a fun match.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of an odd team there. Jeff Cobb, Sabin, and Flip Gordon. I don't see them picking up.
No, I say Goto gets the win here. Team Goto, sorry. Then we get the 6-man match. So another LIJ versus Suzuki Gun. This time it's Sonata, Evil, and Nato taking on the team of Davey Boy and Lance Archer. So Killer Elite Squad and Zack Sabre Jr. So
What a mad team that is, too. Zack Sabre Jr. with Killer Elite Squad. But I think LIJ, as directionless as they are, I think they should pick up the win.
Yeah, so do I, yeah. I'll tell you what, this is a funny little side note. When I play 2K19 and I use my creator guys, I always have Zack Sabre versus Minoru Suzuki in a stable wall. I like to do it off. This is my 3-man team for Sabre. Always, it's my three. It's if I had a team called Sabre Gun, this is Sabre Gun. This is my 3-man team that I always do. So I'm excited to see this.
Please don't talk about Sabre Gun. Don't talk about Sabre Gun. We don't want to see Suzuki Gun break up.
No. Versus Sabre Gun, not break up. War. Yeah. A war in between Suzuki Gun. I like it. Anyway,
No. We've already got BCOGs and BC Elite, and we've already got this new Chaos thing. We don't want another one.
I just get excited seeing these three tag together because that's a beautiful team.
Yeah. Then we have Hiroshi, Tanahashi, and Kushida against Jay White and Gedo. That one's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So I think Kushida.
Do we think there's a possibility of Kushida turning?
Oh. Wow. I didn't even think of that. I just thought Kushida was there to eat a pin.
Especially because you've got Ospreay and Marty Scurll for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship tournament. If Ospreay advances, you've got Ospreay versus Kushida, and now you've got an extra chaos element there if Kushida was to turn and join the new era.
That'd be very...
Which is what we're going to call them for now.
Yeah, very interesting. I was going to say Jay White wins this anyway. I thought Jay White was going to get the pin on Kushida here.
Yeah, I definitely think Jay White's going to pick up the win there to sort of make us think it's possible. It's possible that he could pull this out at Kings of Pro Wrestling. But I don't necessarily think Kushida is going to turn. I think Kushida's kind of babyface forever. But it's an interesting thought.
Never know. Then we get the Junior Heavyweight Championship Tournament semi-final match between the ever-feuding Ospreay and Scurll. Right.
Yeah. Oh, this match is the match to tune in.
I love Ospreay and Scurll. They just have such chemistry together.
Ospreay, Scurll, and Zack Sabre Jr. Those three British dudes. They can just go forever back and forth between the three of them. Like, you want to talk about SmackDown 6 level, you know? Like, I could watch these guys forever.
I'm going Marty for that. I think Marty still picks up the victory there.
Yeah, I still pick Marty there as well.
Yeah. And that takes us into, speaking of Marty, we go into the IWGP Tag Team Championship, and Marty's buddies in Nick and Matt Jackson, the current champions, taking on the BCOG, the GODs, Tanga and Tama. This is going to be...
Yeah, so Firing Squad, Guerrillas of Destiny, BCOG, they've got a million names.
Young Bucks, Elite, whatever you want to call these guys. So, yeah, the match of a million names. Yeah,
so the Young Bucks win, right?
Yeah. Not 100% confident. I'm about 75%. I have a feeling this is where they're going to debut the new member for BCOG. And there's actually something I actually said earlier when we were talking about the Destruction Kobe card. I was like, oh, there's something I want to touch on. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to wait to this moment. Tama and Tanga recruiting season, but in an NXT arena. Did you see?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Tangaloa, he posted a video of himself at an NXT house show. Yeah,
cheeky. I like it. Obviously,
they're not actually going to have anyone join the Bullet Club from NXT, but it's
cheeky.
Yeah, it's a good way to get attention.
I love it. But Young Bucks retain here, but with shenanigans. This is going to be a shenanigans match. It's not going to be a 5-star Meltzer Classic. It's going to be a shenanigans storyline match. So I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's where the title change happens.
You think Cody Rhodes beats Juice Robinson?
Cody beats Juice Robinson and becomes, not only does he become the NWA Heavyweight Championship champion, but he's take home the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship.
Right, so he's going to become a new belt collector and ultimately challenge Austin Aries. This is what you're telling me.
Yep. No, but no, if they want, I don't know if
It's Don Callis, man. It's Don Callis pulling the strings.
I know. I don't know. I don't know if this is the match that's going to do it, but Cody needs to have that US title walking in, unless they're really truly going to keep the NWA title on him for a bit, and he's allowed to use the NWA title at Kingdom. Cody needs to walk into Kingdom with a title, and it should be the US title. But yeah, I want Cody to win.
Right.
Cody wins this, but whether it's by DQ or not, I don't know. Something.
I think I'm going to pick Juice.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with Juice with the upset. Yeah. I don't know how, because you would think Cody being the new NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, they're going to want to keep him strong, but that's outside New Japan. So I don't know how much New Japan are on board. We don't know what Cody's contract status is. When you watch the latest 10 pounds of gold, he's already setting up a feasible reason for him to lose. He has Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonour on the 28th, which we're going to get to shortly. And then on the 29th, he has the Ring of Honor TV tapings, where he has his first defense against Willie Mack for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
And then he has this match on the Sunday. So he has 3 grueling, intense days of wrestling. So it's possible that he loses because of that.
Okay.
But I still think Juice Robinson wins here.
Okay. It should be an interesting match. I think it'll be a good match. I like it. And then, yeah, we have the main event of Kota and Kenny, the Golden Elite, versus Okada and Ishii. Do you see maybe an Ishii turning on Okada here?
Ooh.
Does
I don't know.
Jay White get involved, and does Ishii turn on Okada or something like that?
It's possible. I think that some fuckery is more likely here than earlier in the night. I think that you're gonna, but then you don't want to do too. You don't want to just repeat the last show they had in LA where the
right.
Bullet Club OGs thing happened. So, it's one to watch, but it's going to be a freaking amazing match.
Yeah.
Okada and Ishii versus the Golden Lovers. But yeah, I don't know. I have no prediction for this because it's wide open. I think I'll go with the Golden Lovers unless, I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Even though I saw the Ghetto turn coming, it's thrown me through a loop story-wise. I'm like, I have no idea where the pieces are going to land after this.
Right.
Because there's so many potentialities.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good match. Kenny and Kota win, in my opinion. That's clear as day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be a good match.
But I guess that does it for New Japan. Let's have a look at the extended universe now. There's a couple of things you wanted to talk about with RevPro and CMLL. So we'll cover those quickly before we get into Ring of Honor and Death Before Dishonour.
So still no action in RevPro as of yet, since we've been starting the King of Sports universe. But a couple of things have been announced, so I won't go into what matches have been announced, but Live at Cockpit 33 is happening in 2 weeks. So finally some RevPro action as a RevPro book show. But on the 14th of October, RevPro and New Japan have announced their full card for the Global Wars 2018 tour, which is happening from Brixton in the UK. Yeah, all the matches have been announced. So we get in 2 most important matches. Minoru Suzuki versus Ishii for that British Heavyweight Championship match. I love it. It should be standard Ishii versus Suzuki. You know how many wars they've had all year. It's been going on for months, not just at New Japan, but in RevPro as well, so it should be fun. And you got David Starr, the British Cruiserweight Champion, defending his title against Kushida, which is on the 14th, which is... How many days after Kings of Pro Wrestling is that? I can't think. So if Kushida is in the final, well, he is in the final for the Kings of Pro Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Title Tournament. He gets a shot at another junior title in RevPro mere days later on the 14th, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, I think David Starr will retain, but it's definitely interesting. I have no idea which way the heavyweight title match is going to go. Probably I don't know.
Yeah,
But it's definitely that the Global Wars. It's got more New Japan talent than your normal RevPro show, and your normal RevPro show has New Japan talent anyway. So it's going to be a good one to watch, especially for listeners to King of Sportscast who maybe don't watch RevPro, who tune in because they're like, "Hey, New Japan," and they like New Japan because New Japan is clearly the biggest in this little family of promotions, and this is a good chance to get more eyes on RevPro.
Absolutely, you know? And there's a couple of names here on this card from the RevPro side of thing that I'm hoping has a little. I don't know. The opens the doors for some of these guys to come and play in the World Tag League.
Yeah, yeah. Aussie Open, World Tag League. Let's do it. Hashtag Now We Conquer.
Absolutely. So we've got NATO's taking on Chris Brooks. So maybe CCK could have a little with Gresham, the new CCK. Hopefully they get a.
Well, they're the OG CCK,
right? Exactly.
As well.
Exactly. Yeah,
so, but yeah.
You got Evil and Sonata taking on Ringkampf, Walter and Timothy Thatcher. I would love to see Walter and Timothy Thatcher in the World Tag League. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah,
it's a possibility. These guys are all in WXW's World Tag League as well.
Right. Which I had that in my notes, but I thought I'd leave it out. But yeah, Aussie Open, CCK. Ringkampf, they're all part of the WXW's
with Lucha Brothers. Imagine if Lucha Brothers got brought into the New Japan World Tag League. It won't happen.
They could represent CMLL.
Won't happen, but imagine
CMLL sent a team over every year, so it could. I imagine it'd be Russian Terry Blake. But anyway, so they've said they're sending team SPLX or Suplex. Is that, I don't know how you say it, which is Jeff Cobb and Angelico.
Yeah, teams
over WXW. Yeah. So there's a couple of tag teams performing both the Global Wars and the WXW World Tag League that I'm hoping comes into the New Japan World Tag League. Aussie Open surely need a shot. Surely.
Yeah.